Hello, everyone. Welcome to the episode 33 of the CoinOp Cowboys. We are the greatest entertainment in the world, guaranteed. Or Steven will squeeze his nipples until you're satisfied. Now, we start every episode with a wonderful question that will delight the senses and get these cowpokes in the right state of mind to lull you into a cozy and hilarious podcast that you all enjoy. So, I'm going to introduce each cowboy in turn. They're going to give a nice little intro and answer this question. They will be going in the perfect order, and let me be clear. All the people emailing me, giving me notes and comments about the perfect order only being 69% or 99% perfect. Rest assured, I hear you, and you're wrong. The perfect order is 100% perfect, guaranteed, and I cannot stress that enough. Now, before we ask the question, I want to remind you all to like, subscribe, follow, and leave a comment. Answer along with the boys. We'll pick our favorite answer, and you'll get a prize, TBD. You can also send us an email at coinopcowboyspod@gmail.com. We love reading and reacting to your feedback, so say hi. Let us know if you like the show. Do you agree or disagree? Let us know. Anyway, the question for this episode is, would you rather have your voice sound like Elmo during sex or everything you say sound sarcastic at a funeral? Again, would you rather have your voice sound like Elmo during sex or everything you say sound sarcastic at a funeral? And going first in the perfect order for this episode is Steven.
Oh, he's always first!
It's always Steven.
All right. Hey, you booger-licking city slickers. It's your favorite storytime teller, Steezy. Happy to see you again. Glad you're here with me, Mr. Rogers style. I, Angel, will... See, I'm not at funerals a lot. Just like once in a while. I have sex quite often, humble brag. And I think sounding like Elmo's gonna
like good sex, or
Chris,
I mean, it gets it done.
I have sex. I did not specify what type, but I have it. Cha-ching. All right, I'm not gonna sound like Elmo during sex because it's gonna be a little too distracting, and I like to be loud. And being sarcastic at a funeral, okay, once in a while. I guess maybe later in life it might be shitty, but I'll probably die first anyways. Who cares? Gonna be sarcastic at a funeral, Angel. I don't think people will expect me to not be sarcastic, so that's easy answer. Softball, thank you.
No, very good. Thank you, Steven. Next,
you Joe Biden me.
Question. Can we get Steven's best Elmo impression?
Yeah.
Oh my God! Suck my cock. I'm gonna suck on your titties, and I'm gonna fucking put my wiener inside your pussy.
Oh my God, Chris is dying.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, baby. You wanna take it deeper? You wanna take my fat cock?
Yeah, Steve, I'm just some advice. I think you should just go for it. Just next time you have sex, which like on the subway bus or wherever you're doing it all day.
Subway bus. Okay, I'll be there.
Yeah, just squeeze it in there and just see what happens. Just kind of just like let it loose and make it serious. Do that serious voice and just see how the reaction goes. I wonder if you're gonna get like the cold stone stop. Like, what did you just say? Or they're gonna kind of brush over it and see where it goes from there.
Man. I don't imagine a world where that would go over pretty good. But I'll still do it for science.
That was it's ironic because my kids are big fans of Blippi. And if you guys don't know who Blippi is, he is an adult that acts kind of childlike, and he's got a big following, and he's worth like a ton of money on YouTube. So he goes like, "Ha-ha, hey everybody, how's it going?" And when I was talking to my wife about it, she was like, he is married, and we were thinking, if you're married, like, can he turn it off at home, or can he turn it off when he's having sex, or does he just be like, all right, here we go, and just goes from there? Who knows?
Oh, very good. All right, thank you, Steven.
You're welcome.
All right, next up in the perfect order, we have Chris.
Always fucking last every time.
Evening Wranglers. Tonight you are in store for a very special Valentine's Day episode on the CoinOp Cowboys from your boy, Chris, filling in for Tom DeLonge this evening. So as far as sarcasm goes, I think the world needs it. I think the world needs a fair amount of sarcasm. And I think the trick is, if you say sarcasm with a smile, you just kind of like something super sarcastic and then just be like, yeah. It kind of, the smile disarms people. And so I think there's two things that happen at a funeral. One, a funeral, everyone's sad, everyone's down. Everyone needs like a mood riser, like like my wife, she said when her time is done, she said she wants people to tape like fireworks under the seats, like the pull pop ones. She said she wants like a mariachi band. She wants an 80s band happening. Like she wants it to go from a sad event to like a party. So I would totally go with the sarcasm at a funeral, because I would just kind of sell it that way. Just go with the smile, make some jokes, try and lighten the mood. I feel like it would be helpful if I did that. And I have a terrible Elmo impersonation. There's no way I can top Steven's.
Oh, well, now we have to hear it.
Yep, go for it.
All right. I've been looking forward to this all day. Here we go. All right, what do you think? It's hanging low, right? Well, whoa, you got kind of a grip there. It's calm down. Whoa, okay, all right, here we go. It's going. We're going to the happy place. Oh,
Oh, no.
oh yeah.
You sound like Stronghand.
Oh my gosh.
Kind of sound like a Toy Story character, but also the, Mr. Poopy Hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my inspiration.
Oh.
Mr. Towel or Mr. Poopy Butthole? You're
Towel-y.
kind of
It's
split.
One of those guys. I'm not as familiar with those. Yeah.
Very good, Chris. Thank you so much for that impression and your answer. Next up, in the perfect order, Ryan.
What up, CoinOpians? It's your favorite cowboy. And I'd like to start off this episode with an apology.
Whoa.
Because not only am I your favorite cowboy, I'm your least appreciated cowboy. You know, Angel always puts me last. I'm underpaid and under-respected. But despite all that, I still come here every night for you guys. So I'm always here for you. Remember that.
Every inch.
Now, on to the question that Angel asked. And I'd like to say fuck you to Steven and fuck you to Chris. Because if you come to my funeral and you're sarcastic, I will haunt you for the rest of your days.
Doubtful.
But you'll be laughing while you haunt me, though.
No, I won't. I'll be nibbling on your nutsack, and you won't even know what it is. You'll think it's lice and crabs.
Well, you sound like Elmo, though.
Yes, I will sound like Elmo. Because sex is a time for silence and work. Not for fun. It's silence and work.
Poor Alicia.
I would pick to sound like Elmo.
Poorly. Well, okay. Do you have
Would you like an imitation or impersonation? Sure.
Oh, that'd be great.
Listen closely, Cowboys and CoinOpians.
All right, Ryan, thank you so much for your answer. I'm going to go ahead and round it out. I'm going to also say sarcasm, because I'm the kind of person that actually laughs at funerals. Also, I'm aware that's a song.
Never heard it.
Yeah, so that's actually a step up. And that's it. All right, guys, thank you so much for...
You're so welcome.
Yeah, for that answer. And now we're going to switch things up a bit. So I've been doing a lot of calculations, guys. I've been doing a lot of regressions, multivariate. I don't want to intimidate you guys because you'll start edging like the goons you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's math. It's pretty difficult math. You know, Angel's a genius. His calculations recommend that we read some feedback before we spin the wheel.
That's a great time to read feedback.
So, without further dudes, I forgot to pull up the emails.
Oh, emails. Oh.
We're getting popular.
Yes. We're only going to read one, though. We only have time for one. Okay. And this is, he's actually been emailing a lot. It's Matt.
Hi, Matt.
Hey, Matt. Hello, Cowboys is the subject line. As always, thank you for the laughs and timely release of episodes. The releases remind me of the time my wife promised me sex. I'm still waiting for that sweet, sweet poon. But when it does drop, it's always a fast and fun time. I have a bone to pick with Cowboy Chris.
Yes.
Oh, baby.
When he was talking shit on Mexican food, episode 31, he alluded that all Mexican food has cheese. Most tacos do not have cheese. That's a white people thing. If you want a Mexican taco with cheese, order a quesadilla birria taco, or better. Shove a quesadick taco down the gullet. That's about the most exotic meat a man can taste. Yummy. Cowboy, Steven, and Chris, Boat Girl was a great highlight of that trip. But if you want to talk scandalous, remember when our token black friend allegedly fucked the wife in the cabin next door?
Yes, I do.
And then Cowboy Steve punched him because he was black. Racism? Maybe let the jiggers decide. Love you all.
True. There is fact. I did punch a black man.
True? Because he was black?
No, after he hit me.
Oh, he hit you first.
He hit and bit me.
It was funny because it was like a playful that turned into not playful. It was just like
on top of Chris and Tanya while they're trying to sleep.
Yeah, we're
it's a good story. We'll save it for the next time.
Yeah, we're both like naked under the blanket, and just this party shows up all of a sudden. It was fantastic.
I'll tell real quick. It's relevant. I'm going to forget to do it in the future. This guy we're hanging out with, who happened to be black, was belligerently drunk on the cruise. Yeah, got done fucking somebody's wife, got caught, got in trouble for that, tried to go to this other chick's room, got kicked out, then started to come to the casino where the rest of us were kind of hanging out, hitting on the dealers inappropriately, asking them what they taste like, getting kicked out of the casino, weaseling his way back into the casino, asking another dealer what she tastes like, got kicked out again. He got kicked out 3 times for doing the same thing. And we're all like, oh my God, Billy, please just go to bed. And he didn't. But after a bit in the casino, we decided we were going to go in the jacuzzi again. Jacuzzi was the happening place, and we all went to go get changed. And he followed me and some other people to our cabin, which Chris and Tanya were also in, and they were sleeping or just fucking or something. And I was changing into my board shorts, and as I was changing, he slapped me as hard as he could over the small of my back. Instantly triggered, hurt so bad, stung like
with
really,
a giggle,
really bad. Just
like a ha, right, Steven?
And I was like, haha, no. And I shoved him down onto the bed. But when I shoved him onto the bed, I think he was like, oh shit, this guy's serious for a second. And my hand was like right next to his face, so he kind of like turned it and then like bit my finger really fucking hard. And then the rest of my trigger got pulled, and I socked him across the face.
Dude, yeah, and I remember I had a perfect view because we were laying in the bed, and then Billy was laying on top of us, and then Steven was on top of Billy. So Steven does this haymaker where he brings his right arm well above his head, bends back a little bit, and then just brings that sucker straight down on the guy's mouth.
Well,
and then that's when it took off.
Yeah, if I'm gonna take a swing, I'm gonna take it the right way. But yeah, I hit him in the mouth, and then like I feel like the reality of the situation was like sit in immediately. I'm like, okay, fuck, like we shouldn't be doing this. But like there was no turning back for him. He like went ape shit. Fuck, that sounds racist. But he went crazy, and at that point, everybody was coming into the room like, what's going on kind of thing. And they're trying to separate us, and everybody's kind of getting hit by this guy as he's getting taken out of the room. I think like even Fanny got hit at some point because he was just trying to shove anybody who was pulling him backwards.
Anybody in there.
And it was just a mess. And like he was in the hallway of the cruise ship just spitting blood everywhere. And then the security came and took us to cruise ship jail. And
yep.
I told them the story, and they're like, well, do you want to press charges?
You went to
cruise ship? I went to like the holding
brig.
cell thingy, but then they were talking to me. I was like, listen, guys, this guy started hitting me and I punched him. And they're like, well, do you want to do anything about it? Like acting like, I was like, no, I just want to go back to my room. They're like, okay, but we're going to take away your alcohol privileges for the rest of the trip, which was like 2 more days. And I was like, fine. I just want to be out of here.
How'd they enforce that?
You have to have like a certain sort of card or membership or wristband or something, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, so they cut it. But then I just asked everybody else for drinks the whole time, so I don't.
Nice.
Didn't really matter.
Now
but yeah, I mean, I definitely regret. I've never really been in too many fights in my life. That's like one of the only times in my life I've ever punched somebody in the face. Probably, I think it was the only time I've ever punched somebody in the face. I'm not very quick to fight because I don't really want to get punched in the face.
Gave him a fat lip.
Yeah, I boxed. Like we did some boxing in high school, but it was like a mutual agreed. Put on boxing gloves and kind of spar a little bit. But this was actually the first time I think I like got mad and hit somebody, which everybody thinks it's a hilarious story now, but me and the guy made up the next day. He was like, yeah, I'm sorry, I was like belligerent and fucking drunk, and then he said I hit like a bitch, and I was like, well, your lip's really fat. So I don't know, like we laughed about it, had a shot of tequila, had tacos and papas and beer, and then carried on with life. And
did they ever ask, do you want him to walk the plank?
No, they did ask if I wanted to press charges. while they're bleaching the walls because his blood was everywhere.
Yeah. When I noticed, like, again, it somewhat started off slow and then it got serious. So I was like, oh shoot, I need to hop up and help. So I got behind Billy and I just did like a big bear hug behind him. But then, you know, have you guys ever like gotten on a bucking bronco that you weren't quite ready for, and then you're like, oh shit, I can't let go because he's like swinging everywhere, and I'm like trying to keep my head down from the elbows, so I just kept holding on to him, and I was like, someone open the door so we could shove him outside of the room. So we shove him outside of the room, close the door, lock it. Okay, everything's fine. So then Matt shows up. Matt walks over and he's putting his eyeball up against the little door eyelet, and he's like, "Hey man, I need in. I lost a black chip. One of them real fancy $100 black chips. I need it. It's in here somewhere." And I'm like, "No, it's not in here." And then he ends up opening the door anyways, or somehow got the door open.
Yeah.
And so as soon as he does that, Billy comes running right back in, and the fight starts all over again.
Dude, this guy's like not that tall, but he's built like a freaking running back. Like he was very like stout, like muscular and
buff.
stout. So it was like really hard to get that kind of guy a wrangle. They're slippery, you know, like they can get out. But yeah, it was a bad situation all around. But it got de-escalated, I would say, pretty good given the situation. But yeah, we're fucking Matt, dude. He like sees it all going down. He's just like, oh, I'm just gonna like find my black chip and kind of scoot the hell out of here. I'm like, oh yeah, thanks for thanks for helping us out here, bud. He's just like a conflict.
You know, now that I think about it more, I think Matt was inside the room and we pushed, and then when he came by, he was like, okay. Billy, yeah. Matt's like, oh hey, I want to get out. So he was the one that opened the door to leave to look for his black chip, and in him doing that allowed Billy to come back in.
Yeah,
it was wild times. I know it was my first time being a accessory to a fight.
Right.
Always remember your first time. All right, thanks for sharing, Chris and Steven, and thank you, listener. Remember, guys, you can always send us an email at coinupcowboyspot@gmail.com. And I just realized I really don't respond to the email, so...
Wow, what a dick.
I know. Okay, now we're going to bring up the picker wheel. This is the part of the show where two cowboys discuss topics they prepared ahead of time. We will use the wheel to decide who will be leading the discussion this week.
But I got a bone to pick.
I apologize. I forgot about the bones.
You guys ever played craps table? Throwing the dice at the craps table?
No.
Yes, I have.
Yeah. So Ryan, when you're rolling, do you feel powerful?
Yes.
Like everyone's looking at you. They're betting on what you're gonna do. And for the most part, everyone at that table, they want you to win. They want you to win because if you win, they're going to win too. So on New Year's, I had this craps table and we're rolling, we're having a good time. So my turn, I've been waiting like all night for my turn. It's taking forever for my turn to come around. I finally get it. I put my Spartan helmet on and I get all psyched up. And then the dealer slides 5 dice to me and they're like, choose wisely. And I reach down and I select the perfect 2 dice. And I put all my money down there on the pass line, and I'm like, it's game time, ladies and gentlemen. And I look down. Ryan, you know what I saw at the far end of that craps table?
Steven being inappropriate.
I saw...
Being an inappropriate?
Not quite.
I saw this Steven guy took every last chip he had and dumped it on the don't pass line. Does anyone know what that bet represents? Ryan, you want to explain that bet?
He's betting on his friend to lose. He wants his friend to lose.
He's betting that I'm going to roll and mess up. He bet his life savings on the fact that now that I was rolling, because the dice were so hot a second ago, but now that they're in Chris's hands, they couldn't be any colder. They're negative 270 degrees right now. And so, you know what? I looked down. I saw the chips. I looked up at his eyes. I looked down at the chips again. I said, I'm about to make you regret this. And I maintained my visual lock. And you know what? Want to know what I rolled on my very first roll? 7.
That's a good thing, though.
Gained money on that one. Which actually, so I think when I rolled the 7, you didn't necessarily lose the no pass line. Oh, you did. Okay, yeah. So it was that one.
You did.
Lost it right away. And I got to tell the Cowboys and all the listeners out there, I have never felt so powerful. I feel like I moved those dice with my mind. And then he wanted to like double down on it, so he did it again, and I rolled a 6. So then we went into the second phase, and my very next roll, 6. I hit the number. Steven lost all of his money a second time. I'm like, yes, that's right. Get all excited. And then I rolled again. I got an 8. And then I rolled another time and I got a 7. And I rolled all of 5 times. But I beat Steven twice in that process.
You know what, Chris? In all fairness, I've played craps in Vegas with you, and you've always rolled your fucking 7. So I told the dealer, he's like, "You're going to bet against the table," and I said, "Listen, I've played craps with this guy enough that I'm not stupid enough to bet with his roll." But you beat me, so you got the last laugh. So congratulations.
But that dealer, Steven, was mean. She was so mean.
I guess not to me.
No, she was such a bitch.
She was mean to you guys because you didn't know how to play, but which I felt like was a little silly because it was like a pleasure game. It wasn't for anything realsies. So like, I really feel like she was being a little too strict. Maybe like thinking, "Oh, I'm teaching them how to play," but like kind of just being strict. Yeah, I didn't like the way that they talk to you and Alicia a little bit, but I was like, "Oh, they don't seem bothered by it," so I'm just gonna chill.
I was very upset. You'd see how red I was if my face wasn't painted gold.
Yeah, you were so golden.
All right. Good bone, Chris. Good bone.
That was it.
Anybody else have any bones? I got to write that in. I forgot about bones. No more bones?
That's it.
That's weird.
I have a bone.
You had to pry that bone out of Ryan. I think he was going to go for it.
I have a bone to pick with everybody who thought the Lions weren't making it to the Super Bowl. But we all saw this past Sunday when the Lions just crushed Brock Purdy's dreams, and he's never going to play for the 49ers again because he lost 2 NFC championships, and one of them was to the Detroit Lions, the worst team in the NFL 2 years ago. Now they're up at the top, baby.
What a game. It was so magical.
I'm happy for them.
Yeah.
It was a great thing.
They deserve it. That city deserves it. Happy to all my family members who still live in Michigan that are like lifelong fans. And, it was really cool to get the Super Bowl after all these years. Unfortunately, I'm not a Detroit Lions fan. My dad didn't take that with him when he left, but happy that they made the Super Bowl, man. It's really cool. I'm excited for the Lions versus the Ravens. It's going to be a great game. And I'm looking forward to cashing in on the squares. Remember, $5 a square. No, it's raised $6 a square.
Steven always wins. Or Steven's
Pick a
boss.
better. I haven't won in 3 or 4 years. Like, I've been on a really dry streak. My boss hasn't won. You know who won was my sister. She won like an obnoxious amount of times, and it was pissing everybody off. But last year she did not win. So rejoiced.
It just sucks when people who aren't there win. It really upsets me.
People get mad if I don't do it. Like, I have a lot of people that are not. I would never fill out the squares if I was waiting for the day of. People would just. I'd have to make them like 25-cent squares, and we'd all have like 30 squares. Anyways, let's get to it, man.
All right, very good. Let's go ahead and share that.
Spin your fucking wheel.
Here we go. Gentlemen, get ready. Who's going to be first?
It's going to be Chris. It's always fucking Chris.
It's definitely going to be Chris.
Oh,
surprise.
Here we go.
I wonder if my segments are better or worse depending on the slot that I get, because I get pretty tired by the end of it. So.
They're always better if you're first, because you're bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
Fresh.
Nice. Well, Wranglers, as I was saying earlier, you're in a very, very special Valentine's Day episode here at the CoinOp Cowboys with one of the hottest threesomes we know, Blink 182. So on tonight, we get to talk about one of the most epic comebacks of all time. We got Blink 182 popped out with one of their most recent albums, One More Time, baby. One More Time. So what I did is I asked all the Cowboys, I said, hey, man, this is something mythical happening here. There is rejoicing, and there's going to be foundational Hall of Fame changes going on here. And you know what? I want to get the boys' feedback. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about all the good, the bad, and the different. It's going to be fantastic. And the one that I'm most excited to hear from is I know the great showdown is going to be between Angel and Ryan here tonight, because some of you may know Angel is a hardcore Blink 182 fan. He bleeds that blue. He loves it. I can already see his note segment. He has pages upon pages of what he said and thought about all that. And then we have Ryan.
Ryan's holding up his notepad and his angry scribbles.
Ryan's the evildoer. He picks on Tom DeLonge, can't say his name properly and just hates on it. And I could tell after he was done listening to it, he was like, my ears are bleeding. I don't know how I survived that 1 hour. So it's going to be fantastic episode here. So
Saying Ryan's rude.
yeah, a little bit. I mean, he's missing out on something truly, truly magical. So to give everyone the backup of how we got to here is the hot spot of Blink-182 is they had an album in 97, 99, 01, and 03. That was peak Blink-182. Then they split, and everyone was sad. And then they kind of had like a little bit of a reunion, but they didn't really go anywhere. And then they had like a hiatus, and then they came back in Coachella 2 years ago. And so now they finished this album. They put it out there. The album's been out there for about 3 months now. So what I say to all the Cowboys out there, or all the CoinOpians, is, go ahead and pause right now. Go hit Spotify, hit that pause button, go to YouTube, listen to the album, get the whole album all soaked up so you can truly dive into this next magical segment we're about to go into.
Oh, I thought you were telling me to do it right now. It's like, okay,
It was, Steven, it's all right. I can already tell that, I know you did your research.
I don't need to do research on Blink-182. I already know everything I need to know about.
Solid. So, so we're going to talk about a few of the different songs tonight, but it's, I like first impressions. So I want to start with giving it back to the Cowboys here. What were your guys' first impressions? General overtudes. How you feeling about it?
I'll start. I'll kick it off. I'll kick it off. So I listened to that song Edging many months ago. So my expectations were set because that song was fucking god awful. And I thought the rest of the album must be better.
Did you see the YouTube video? Did you see the video of the Edging?
Yeah, I watched the fucking video of Edging, and it's just fucking cringe as fuck. They're
in a carnival killing rabbit mascots, right? I mean, how could you go wrong with that?
It's just juvenile. And why do I hear his music?
Steven's researching.
No, just refreshing.
And I was hoping for some growth in the band. But,
why growth?
I think because they're older. Because they're older. They're singing. The lyrics are different. Fucking shit. Half the songs are about the same fucking thing.
You would say the song "One More Time" is the same old shit.
If you can even fucking hear the fucking lyrics, because the mixing on these songs is fucking awful.
You're talking
the amount of
nonsense.
auto-tune and post-processing, specifically on Tom DeLonge's voice, is god awful. So bad. And
but
there's
it's
some
still
songs
that
where
magical
the
Tom
drumming
DeLonge voice
just overcomes everything, and you can't hear shit.
That's some of the best punk right there, though.
God awful.
Maybe you need to get new speakers.
No, I listened to it in my car. It was god awful.
Oh, no. I actually have agreed with Ryan. Shit. Go ahead.
Oh, Angel said it.
I listened to them live when they did their Coachella set, and they sounded great.
That's live. That's different. The mixing's different when they're live, but whoever mixed this album, it sounds like shit.
I think you're a little wrong when it comes to like what they're singing about. I definitely see them singing from like a looking back point of view. And then especially that song, like One More Time, what do you think that's about?
There's a couple. There's like 2 or 3 of the songs that are like reminiscing about, like, it kind of talks about their history of getting back together and shit like that.
To be fair, I only
the other
listened to
half
like
of the songs, it's like, oh yeah, we were dating and it was great and we're making out in the car, isn't it great? Like, you sung about this 20 years ago.
But I think we live in a culture now like that. People don't actually listen to whole albums of anybody. I mean, you listen to the songs that are actually good and you don't even take a peek at the other one unless you're extremely obsessed with the band.
That is something that I noticed.
So for me, I've only heard the pop
because I went through the whole album, and the first song, Anthem 3, had like 1.5 million views.
Yeah.
And then once you get to the bottom of the album, it's like 300,000.
I'm looking at the views on each of the songs right now. So they're like 10 million per, and then like the bigger songs are closer to 100 or 50 million. 50 million hits.
If you looked
so
at
it's like
Chris's
5 times
playlist, if you looked at Chris's playlist that he sent, Anthem is like 1.5 million, and it drops to 300,000 towards the bottom.
Yeah. Well, like the end of the albums always probably have less people. And then there's like a couple of songs that have like only 20,000 hits. And you think if someone's just listening through the album, it's going to get more than that. Like, like there's like short little things. But
So Chris, are you going to go through each individual song like one by one in order, or
Yeah, it's kind of what I was thinking of. Probably don't need to go through all of them. I don't know if I'll have that much time, but the ones that I was eyeballing was going to talk about Anthem. We were going to talk about One More Time. We were going to talk about More Than You Know, When You Were Young, and maybe about there. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Is that the ones that you had notes on?
Oh, I had them on all up to You Don't Know What You've Got.
Fantastic.
And then I ran out of time.
I have notes on all these pieces of shit.
It's got garbage. Tom DeLonge overprocessed.
You don't understand how. So I got to the point where it's Blink Wave came up, and I thought that was it, because that's what it looked like on the playlist. And then there's like 4 more songs. I was like, what the fuck is bullshit?
So I do want to say that, Steven has a point. We come from a generation that listened to CDs in their entirety. So I when I wrote these notes, I put a lot of value in the sequence of the songs, like how they flow and the rhythm translates from one song to the next, and if it makes sense. And you're right. Today they're not very popular to do that. We pick and choose artists to compile playlists. It's more than enjoying the album as a whole, like we used to. So that's my standpoint.
Like when I've been going to the gym, I've just been putting this album on start to finish. And I agree with you on that, Angel. The one time I did shuffle, it just seemed off. But the album itself on this one, I think, has a good flow to it. It comes out, I like that Anthem 3 comes out hard, because Anthem 1 and Anthem 2 were one of their like real foundational songs. And this one is just heavy drumming, like we're kicking this off, we're back, baby, we're getting into it. And then I personally liked Anthem 3. It was a very fantastic song saying about all the good stuff.
All I could hear were drums.
It's the best part. It's also when Steven and I went to EDC, there was multiple stages we had to go to. And I remember there was one stage that caught my attention that when Steven's like, which one should we go to next? I was like, that stage. And it was I think it was hard trap, or it was it was just the one where it's just
but it was
cranking.
like, it's different. It's not just like typical house music. It's like, I don't know, it's called hard style. I don't know how to do it with my mouth, but like hard style is like a certain type of
I love that
dance
music.
Mm-hmm.
It's just really in your face, like energy.
Yep.
Cool.
That's what I wanted. And then Steven had like some of the more unique ones. Like there was the guy who the flow, not Flow Rider, the guy that sang Major Lazer. Like we heard Major Lazer, and then there was the guy that had the guy with the alien voice on the keyboard, and the other guy had a guitar. It was fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, that was Chromeo, which was like an actual band, and it was like a funky like synthesizer band.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
They're still around. They're still doing their thing. They're cool. But yeah, actually a lot of that stuff I just kind of like walked into, like Chromeo, I think was like, I was on like my phone, like looking at people, what they're saying, when, like they wanted to go see, and like people kept saying Chromeo a bunch. And I was like, all right, fuck it. I'll go check them out. And I watched it. I was like, oh, I love it.
Chromeo's dope. I love Chromeo.
Same with Major Lazer. I didn't know anything about Major Lazer. We just showed up at the set, Chris. I think we were just ready to do something, and they were just awesome. And
yep, they were there.
Won us over.
Mm-hmm.
I have to look up Chromeo.
They're fantastic.
Chromeo's they're great.
So, but on this Anthem Part 3, I listened to it a few times. I liked that hard style coming right on there, but then I started focusing on the words. Now, Ryan, I think you may have said you heard drums, but did you look into what they were truly singing about on their first album, the first song of their first album coming back?
No, I couldn't hear the lyrics.
They start off, they say, we're starting up a new life. When your head is hanging too low, when your heart is about to explode, you can make it anywhere. Go. So they were coming up, and the vibe that I got from that song was we're getting everything patched together and we're going forward and we're just diving into it. And the end of that song is actually by far the best part. It says, let's see here. This time I won't be complacent. This time the dreams I gave up and wasted, a new high, a new ride, and I'm on fire. My old shit ends here tonight. That's how their first song ended.
But I'm going to have you listen to, it sounds like all the old shit. Oh.
What's wrong? Sounds like, or the lyrics are like...
All of it. All of it sounds just like a previous album, but worse. Like the whole album to me just felt like a cheap nostalgia grab to a generation that now has more money to spend on them than they were.
Was the first song kind of like a midlife crisis to you, Chris?
Yeah.
Or like rebirth at like maybe their age?
Mm-hmm.
Because Ryan keeps referring to this band as being stuck in their 20s, but the lyrics to me when I'm looking at them and reading them. I'm not that good at reading and comprehending lyrics, but what I see is basically just like starting again later on.
Yes. Yeah. And that's
Some sort of rebirth.
And again,
midlife
their
crisis.
key albums came out in 97, 99, 01, and 03. So 97, I was in like 4th grade, and 03, I was sophomore, I think, somewhere in there. So it was like this prime junior high, elementary school, going into high school life. And I felt like their songs were on the same page of where I was at in life. The hey, it's this, we gotta get up and going. There's things we're upset about, and never forget like the concept of punk anyways is it's a vehicle of emotion, right? So the punk music is like, oh yeah, I feel this way and I can put it into something now. So I feel like that's how they started then. And then I feel like when we got out of high school is like when they got out of high school and they split up and their life started falling apart or things started going very well. And now they're reuniting, and I feel like they're reuniting at my age right now, where I feel like, hey man, in high school, things were nice. High school, all that, when we were kids, they were all the good times. We didn't have to worry about stuff. And now you have things in the world to worry about. You got to take care of yourself and your family. I feel like more often than not, I'm just trying to get through the day. And so I see them having that come back together and say, you know what, we need to fix this. We wasted our youth, we wasted our opportunities, and we're going to do something about it right now.
That's quite the takeaway.
Don't you find that disingenuous coming from them? Like you got freaking Travis Barker married or dating a Kardashian, is on reality TV and involved in this punk music. It's like, you're not punk anymore. It's just disingenuous.
When were they ever punk? They were never punk. They were pop punk.
Yeah.
And they never really sang about fuck the system or anything like that. They always talked about like being a horny teenager or just up to like stupid shit or just kind of like loving their young, like early 20s or something, and just kind of how they were a piece of shit, right?
Yeah,
like they sang about shit like
genuine. That. It's genuine at that age. But at this point, when they're all millionaires, billionaires, flying around in private jets and singing about this shit, it's not genuine anymore. Like, it just comes off to me as just a commercial cash grab.
What kind of kills that for me, I understand how you can believe that. And at that age, like we're older. I'm older, like I don't have that angst. Steven said the word angst. I don't have that feeling anymore. I can appreciate how like, recalling how that used to feel a long time ago, Chris. And it was like vindication. It's kind of like awesome that it's coming together, but I don't have that feeling anymore. So I understand where you're coming from, Ryan. I really didn't listen to the lyrics either. I found them hard to hear, but I will say it was a really strong song to start off. My notes basically the drums reminded me of like the first drummer they had. Forget his name, but it was in his style, and I can hear like the pitch change in Tom's voice, similar to his Angels and Airwaves album. The guitar harmonies as well. When Mark came in with the chorus, I started thinking plus 44. So to me, the song was a clash of the two projects coming into one.
On that first song,
yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, bring it through. And then, like even I'm looking at they had another song in there that was When We Were Young, and the way that those lyrics goes, when we were young, the world felt so small. When we were young, nothing could break us apart. We're losing something we had when we were younger. Back in the day, we used to say F them all. Now I'm stuck at work like a typical jerk with nowhere to go. So I feel like there's nothing wrong with utilizing nostalgia. I feel like Ryan's like really bitter about the fact that anyone would ever consider using nostalgia. It's not really a cash grab, but when you get to that age, even right now, I feel like nostalgia is more important than when I was younger, and it's just due to the fact of my age. And so for them, that's what they have to work with. Now, the one song that probably did it for everyone was the One More Time, right?
Oh, yeah.
Steven. Yeah.
So enthusiastic.
I said, oh, yeah.
Are you okay?
So, ironic.
What is wrong with that? I said, oh, yeah. He said, this is the song that did it for everybody. And
oh, yeah. My first note on this one was good until Tom started belting.
Belting?
Yeah, it started like the first 30 seconds of the good and were good, and then he like Tom DeLonge really got into it. What did I write here? Oh fuck! Oh, he goes, Kanye! Yeah.
So I think we got to the point where Ryan just doesn't like Tom DeLonge.
Yeah.
So he's just
bad.
never
He's
gonna
so
like.
bad.
He can't really participate in this conversation because he just has such a hate. It's like someone who's like, I hate Mexican food. And you're like, but this dish is really good. Nope, hate it. Like they'll never even consider it, right? Because they don't like it off the bat.
Because it's just so bad. Like the song had a good
How could
rhythm
it-
going to it, and Mark was doing a good job, and then Tom just starts screaming in, and it's like like he's almost cartoonish in how he's doing it now. It's way worse than it was before.
I don't know. I remember that was one of the first songs that came out.
Are you talking about the song or the part of the song where they says, "Do I have to die to hear you miss me?"
Yep.
When he sings the chorus. I don't know how you don't like it. I mean, I like it. I mean, I grew up with him. I like his voice a lot. You know, it's that whiny, emo, pop punk, angsty bullshit. And the lyrics of that song are actually pretty good. Make you feel that like nostalgia, that longing.
It is that
Yeah, it just, like it just is them reflecting on kind of everything that they've been through, and it's cool to see it. Like, I don't know much more to say about that. I mean, it's their own story, but I mean, the song sounds good and the lyrics seem meaningful, and yeah, it's a good song.
It was just one of the better ones. That's all I have to say.
Was it your
Still not one
favorite?
of my two. It's not one of the two I highlighted, Chris. It's
Oh,
still
okay.
a bad song.
All right.
It's just like your opinion, bro.
Yeah. So for the One More Time song, there's actually I'll just read the first few on here because again this one I feel like the lyrics hit really well too. It goes strangers into brothers, from brothers into strangers once again.
Yeah, that's cool.
And that's representative of the three Blink guys coming together and then they grew apart again. And it made me think like, hey, I have people like that in my life that I got really close with and now I'm not. We're back to strangers and like, whoa, when did that happen? And then it keeps going. It says,
That's a cool lyric.
we saw the whole world, but I couldn't see the meaning. And again, I'm thinking back to the height of these guys' career. They were getting flown all over the place. They were playing for people. They had money. They were young. It was, at that time I was like, dude, these guys are on top of the world. Everything's going so well. And they had all of that and they still, they felt somehow empty with all that. Which is ironic because I think a lot of people go, oh, if only I had money, if only I had fame, if only I had these things, I would be happy with my life. And then it's ironic to see people at the top say, it's meaningless.
I think this is told in the perspective of Mark because I was watching the Coachella set and, he was talking about this specific song, but then also the line of like it taking a sickness, referring to when he got cancer to like actually help him see what the fuck actually matters. So.
Yeah, I couldn't even recognize my friends. Older, but nothing's any different. Right now feels the same. I wonder why. I wish they told us it shouldn't take a sickness or airplanes falling out the sky. So both of those references is like what Steven said. The sickness was Mark having cancer, which he recently beat, fantastic. And then you have Travis, who was in a business class plane crash. And I was reading up on Travis's thing, like there were 6 or 8 guys on this plane. It was running down the end of the runway. That one of the tires popped, so they were just like, so the pilot radios the tower, says, hey, we're gonna go off the end of the runway, so go ahead and start mobilizing like emergency crews and stuff, but we're just gonna wait for this thing to come to a halt. And he said it with such calm, but he ended up going so fast off the end of the runway that he kept going and went across the freeway and then went up the embankment on the other side and burst into flames. And Travis saw all this fire, and so he stood up and jumped out of the plane. He ended up landing on where there was a bunch of jet fuel, and he burned like 80% of his body. Travis and one other guy survived. Everyone else died.
DJ AM.
Yeah, so it was super traumatic for Travis. I'm like, man, dude, that's something to really go through.
Yeah, it was. And then I think his buddy, I don't know, something happened to him. He died later on, like at a young age, just not so long after that.
Yep.
But yeah, probably a pretty fucked up experience to go through.
He couldn't, Travis couldned tour with Blink anymore. He said, if it's on an airplane, I can't do it. So I got to take a boat everywhere we go. So that really kind of drug it down too. And, I had to get all this skin grafting surgery and whatnot. So, but after they get through those verses, then it says, do I have to die to hear you miss me? Do I have to die to hear you say goodbye? I don't want to act like there's tomorrow. I don't want to wait to do this one more time. I Gotta Say I Love You While You're Here. So you have these three best friends that they had the world, and then they kind of broke up a little bit, and then two of the guys almost died, and the three of them got together and said, you know what? We dodged a bullet here. All three of us are still here. You know what? Let's put everything aside. Let's fix things, and let's enjoy each other and spending time together. And, you know, the thing of, hey, I want to say I love you to your friends.
Yeah. And I don't think this is the first time Mark has done this, right? Because like at Plus 44, he wrote, "No, it isn't," about the strained relationship with Tom.
Mm-hmm.
And every time, you know, the media would bring it up, he'd be like, "No, it isn't. You know, the song, is it about him? No, it isn't." That's what he ended up calling it for that reason. But, you know, I personally, I feel like they're growing in this song. It's a song of growth to me. Personally, I wouldn't listen to it over and over. You know, I'd acknowledge it and move on, because it's like, okay, it's another one of those, like, no, it isn't. I would have actually liked to call it, I'd actually would have loved for them to call it Yes, It Is. Because, yeah. But because they were so open with the lyrics about calling out the things that happen in their lives, you know, and I can see this song really meaning a lot to you, Chris. Because in the vein of like your experience when you were sharing with the music festivals, like you understand that life is meant to be enjoyed with friends and family, and it's okay to let yourself have fun, you know, like you can be included, you can actually go and do those fun things. You don't have to wait. But, yeah, you don't have to wait for like life-threatening situations all of a sudden, like the feuds you have with people, and all of a sudden they just seem so small because the situation has been reframed. It's kind of like, why are we even fighting? Like, we don't have much time.
Yeah, I think we forget, or we look past the fact that we're like, oh, we'll wake up tomorrow. Oh, I'll go see that person again. Hey, I'll be able to do another podcast with the CoinOp Cowboys. Like, we'll meet next time. And ironically, we just don't know. We don't know when that's going to happen. So I think there is definitely a trick to think about that. And I feel like that song hit me at a great time in my life too, where I was kind of like thinking about that stuff and working on it, and be like, you know, I'm working my butt off at work, and if people are saying, hey, let's go do these things, I'm like, oh no, I can't, or I don't want to, or hey, let's break out the good wine or the good tequila. No, actually, I want to save that for a special occasion, and that special occasion never comes. Or even I'm playing Baldur's Gate, and I have these special potions, and I'm just not going to use them because I'm waiting for a special moment for that. And I'm realizing sometimes you just got to dive in there. You know, break out the good china. You know, on a Thursday night, I opened up a bottle of wine tonight. I was like, let's just go for it and see what happens. You know. Do that enjoyment. Go to those things you want to go to. If you want to go to Stagecoach or Coachella, or you want to go do these events, I feel like there's no time like the present. Just do it, enjoy it, and look at the big picture. And that's what that song was speaking to me about.
No Royal Rumble's too far.
Yeah. It is a common message that you hear a lot in life, is like, don't take things for granted and seize the day, blah, 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 all this crap.
Mm-hmm.
But the way that they put it and put it in their words and for their stories, what I think makes it a good Blink song. And I think Ryan misses the point a little bit. I think people want to hear Blink sound like Blink. You know what I mean? They don't want to hear Blink try to be a different kind of rock band at this point in their life because they're older. No, we want to hear Blink. We want that old pop punk sound. That's why we listen to them. That's why we love them. You know, their lyrics are a little more on this side of the age now. Maybe not all of them, Ryan. Sorry, you know, picky motherfucker. But yeah. Do you want to hear them sound different, Chris? I'm sure Ryan was like way happier when Tom DeLonge wasn't there and some random fucking dude singing shit. He probably also liked Sublime with Rome. Yeah, I'm gonna go listen to Sublime, but like with that one other dude singing. I'm gonna go listen to Queen, but with like Sublime. Adam Lambert. I'm gonna go listen to Journey with that Asian dude singing. Yeah, that's the way I like it. No, fuck off.
You're talking about talented people being replaced, Steven. That's different.
That was like 3 or 4
Blink
bands in a row.
182 is Tom DeLonge.
Yes.
Mark is great and all, but Blink is Tom DeLonge. Now his voice defined Blink. Like without Tom, that Blink would have never became famous.
Mm-hmm.
So here we are.
Yeah, there's like those YouTube videos where it compares the voice of Matt Skiba and the voice of Tom DeLonge, and it's just Tom DeLonge's voice was so unique, and I liked hearing that. Like I liked it when he got that into the songs, and I wanted to hear more of it. And it was actually ironic on this album. I could tell that he aged and he couldn't do that voice as hard as he used to. And so that made me like a little sad, but I was like, it also reminded me of like, okay, well, that's cool. Cause he's growing up. He's not going to sound like that forever, but it made me appreciate when he did sound like that.
Funny when we went listening to him at Coachella, he sounded so good for 25, 30 minutes, maybe a few songs. And then his voice would just start going out because it just doesn't last. I saw Blink, I want to say, before they broke up, back at like an acoustic Christmas, K-Rock acoustic Christmas. And I remember seeing them and going, dude, they sound like shit. Like, I don't ever want to fucking listen to Blink ever again. Like, live. Because they suck. They're not taking it seriously. They're fucking, Tom's out there just fucking not even playing his guitar right. And he's just like, fuck, don't listen to me play. Like, I suck.
That was weird.
And it was just like, probably at that time, it was probably at the time when they were just all like not happy and they just didn't want to do it anymore. So it was after the plane crashes for sure. It was before the cancer. I would say 09-ish, 2010-ish.
Yep. I was kind of in the middle of it. And I mean, there's the last thing that we're all forgetting about. We never really thought Blink was going to get back together. I mean, they kind of got back together twice, but not really, and it didn't really go very well. So I just wrote it off as they're done. They're done for. We're never going to see them again. And they came back and they're enjoying it.
I thought Tom was too fucking crazy. Like,
yeah, much too crazy.
Yeah. He was a pariah for a bit, right? Like, he was just like too weird he's not weird anymore by anybody's standards, but he was back then.
Yeah.
Very weird, conspiracist, alien, no moon landing kind of guy.
I was very happy to see on the last episode, Ryan was wearing To the Stars shirt from Tom DeLonge's company. I really enjoyed that. You're muted, bro.
I have a slew of them, thanks to a good friend.
Oh, what a gentleman.
Tidal waves.
There you go. So
are you coming to the Blink concert with us, Ryan?
Yeah, I had Pritchard buy me tickets.
Yeah. So it's gonna be fun. So Chris, thanks for bringing awareness to this album. I didn't listen to the whole album through in preparation for this, but I knew a lot of the songs. But I started scrolling right now through some of like the B-side, and now I'm interested in listening to this album more in depth.
It's a good thing, you know. I feel like I'm mixing.
You ever use lyric mode in Spotify?
No. How does that one
So while
work?
you're playing a song in Spotify, you can click a button and it just turns to the lyrics and it shows it as they're singing. And like sometimes even when I'm in my car, like I'll have it mounted and I'll just put on the lyric mode so it's playing, but I can also glance at like the lyrics every once in a while because I never understand what people are saying in songs. Like I'm so bad at that.
Right.
And I've been getting to know some of the songs I like a lot more. And like appreciating and liking songs more because of what they're saying, and some less, but yeah, it's cool.
So kind of one final closing to all the CoinOpians out there. Well, if you haven't hit pause on Spotify yet and gone and listened to Blink-182's new album one more time, you really should hit pause right about this point because we're probably going to have Ryan talk next, and that point can wait. So, but just, go on there, listen to the album. It's worth it. It's kind of close it out. It's just, when I was listening to the song, I feel like it was, it's an opportunity to kind of take stock of your life. I feel like a lot of times we focus on the things that aren't going well or the things we're not getting done or the things that we, I feel like I've had a lot of things where I've missed opportunity. And I think in listening to this song, it kind of remind me that the trick is to just start working on that right now. So the one that hit me the most, it was even like right around New Year's. It was, this time I won't be complacent. The dreams I gave up and wasted. A new high, a new ride. I'm on fire. My old shit ends here tonight. So that's all you CoinOpians in that old shit tonight. And listen to that album and stick to it.
Woo!
Enjoy.
Tidal waves.
Yeah.
Glad you enjoyed it, Chris.
I'm glad you listened to it, Ryan. Oh, are we going to do the harmony section? Are we going to do the one more time? So
you haven't guessed my
Okay.
2 songs. What are the 2 songs?
I
that
will.
I enjoyed,
I will
Chris?
guess that, but on
one shot.
So
one
the
shot.
ironic thing of Blink is you never hear Travis speak. Like honestly, I don't think I've ever heard his voice. But I noticed on the One More Time at the very end, they're all saying like one more time, and they're kind of harmonizing each other. And you hear Travis speaks a grand total of twice, and he jumps in there. So it made it so much more personal that it wasn't just Tom and Mark going through things. Travis wanted to get in there. We hear his voice. So now, as far as which songs they were, I really was thinking it was the "Turn This Off," the one that was all of like 20 seconds. Was it that one?
Oh, I hated that so much.
It was just
I
like
really
that
hated
song,
it.
dude.
I really wanted to turn it off.
So of course I had to read the lyrics on that, and you're not missing much. I was like, what are they saying? And then I read the lyrics. I'm like, what are they saying? I don't know, but it was like a small gag on there.
Chris, are you a fan of their between song banter?
Hell yeah, dude! I love seeing that. They kind of they joke with each other. Like I was just watching one where on Coachella, everyone's like, "Hey guys, look, it's Tom," and everyone's all woo, and he's like, "Daddy's home." And I know he made a joke about that, but on the flip side, like that's how we all felt. We were waiting for Tom to come home, and then Tom does something. Like even on the second album on here, he goes. So when I teach masturbation to people, I tell them to just go with it. That's how the song kicks off, and it just makes me chuckle.
Just have fun with it.
That's the one, just the one. So yeah, I like the in between banter. Do you like it too, Steven?
Some of it's too childish for me, but it's them. So I just go, that's their thing.
Yep.
So
Yep.
have fun with it. It's fun to see people having a good time with it.
So
And I know a lot of people do like that.
yeah, I agree with you. I do feel like they do it a little bit much at times. The Ryan, I think I'm gonna go with my original 2 guesses, but I really wanted to guess that you were gonna like Blink Wave because Blink Wave was like don't answer that one yet. Blink Wave was like an 80s wave vibe. I was like, oh, that gives me like a little bit of Bon Jovi vibe. I'm wondering if that, and then I was like, you know what? I doubt Ryan made it to song 11 on this album, so I'm not gonna guess that one. But I
finished it.
The one that I went with was More Than You Know, and maybe Turpentine.
Well,
Did I hit either of those?
More Than You Know.
Yeah.
Say. Let's see. Where's that one? On my
More
notes.
Than You Know. I might be able to sing that for you
More
here.
Than You Know. Where is that one?
He got it, huh?
No,
he did
no.
not.
What about when
I can confirm Chris
we
did
were
not.
young? I wasn't sure if you'd like that one. That one's one of my favorites.
Where the fuck is More Than You Know? I got Dance With Them. That was trash. Fall in Love. That was trash. Turn This Off. That was super trash. Oh, Terrified was the worst one. Oh,
dang.
Yeah, I didn't like that one very much.
it had a bunch of pew pew sounds in it. Oh god. More Than You Know. Oh, I did say this one is pretty good.
So is that a yes?
Tom is still pretty bad, but secondary, so that was pretty good. But it was over auto-tune, too many post effects. Mark's stuff was pretty good. That wasn't one of my highlighted ones.
Okay.
My first highlighted one, and this is when I thought the album was ending, was Blink Wave. And I wrote, Chris, 80s vibe.
Yes. I looked at that. I was like, man, that I totally think this is Ryan right here. I wasn't brave enough to guess it though.
Yeah, it said music is fun, vocal mixing and post-processing is trash, 80s vibe.
Nice.
When did you become an expert on fucking post-processing and mixing?
AI.
How many hours in the studio do you have?
It was just obvious. Like, good mixing and post-processing is when you
High
can't
probability
tell.
of you talking out of your butt right now.
Yeah, probably.
Hey, are you playing Mafia Wars?
No, I am actually.
What was the second
Yeah,
one,
what was
Chris?
the second one? Oh, the second get.
What was your
I don't
second
know.
guess?
When we were young, I think you made fun of that while we were talking about it, so that's probably a no.
Mm-hmm. The second one, I think it's called Childhood. Is that what it's called? The last song?
Oh yeah, the very last one was Childhood.
This is when I got over taking notes. So my notes for this one, the first one is woo!
Good one. I like it.
And then I like this one, except for the drawn out ending. Oh yeah, it plays for like an extra like minute and a half once they're pretty much done.
It is the longest.
Yeah.
It is a 4 minutes and 18 seconds, and the next closest one is like 3:21
Do they say woo in the song?
of that song.
Yeah.
I've honestly only listened to that song a few times because I haven't gotten all the way to the end. Every time I listen to them,
Yeah. And then there was,
I always start at the beginning.
and there was fuckface. I said dumb. Edging has to be the worst one.
Well,
There is so much repetition in that one. It was so annoying. They say like, bring the rope, bring the rope, bring the rope.
Ah, that fucking yeah.
And it's like, oh my god. There's a lot of repetition in this album where they say the same thing over and over. And it feels like it's just trying to fill time. Where they could have got the same message.
Fill the
on.
void.
Yeah.
In Ryan's heart.
Yeah.
How we doing, Chris?
Yeah. Yeah. That's about all I got on that one.
That's it.
Yeah. Glad you like it. Glad it appeals to your nostalgia, which I can understand. I don't have the nostalgia for them. I just found it annoying.
Yeah, baby.
Maybe we should talk all the way to midnight about Blink-182.
Let's do it. I would love to.
I'll go to bed. That's cool.
I could do it to 2 a.m. All
I
right.
guess we could spin the wheel.
Thank you, Chris. I really enjoyed listening to the album. It was a hoot and holler. So wonderful. Always wonderful to talk about Blink. All right. Let's go ahead and share that wheel.
Spin your fucking wheel.
Here we go.
It's always Ryan. It's always Ryan.
We're going to talk about wind today.
Oh.
Oh, this is good because my topic's going to suck.
You're going to be overshadowed by the Blink segment.
All right. So today,
Everybody's going to tune out when it's Ryan's turn. They're going to be fuck, he's not talking about Blink. I'm out of here.
that's fine because it's not my strongest one. I called an audible today because inspired by one of the Cowboys, Steven.
Hello.
Which cowboy do you think inspired my topic? It was not you, Steven, for once.
Oh, well, it was definitely me, though. I'm the most influential.
I would say Angel inspired you today.
And that would be correct.
Oh, what do I win? What do I win?
No.
Yes,
No.
yes. You
I mean,
win a
obviously,
night-
I'm very inspiring, but
you win a night of joy. So I had a conspiracy of recent events that I was going to visit tonight, but another conspiracy reared its ugly head. And you know what? Angel challenged me about it earlier today, and I didn't like it. That's how my day started today. I was challenged by Angel very early in the morning, and you know it stuck with me.
what?
The fuck are my notes? God damn it!
I didn't challenge anybody.
You did.
I'm
you
glad
did.
it stuck with you so much, Ryan.
There's a controversial video game was kind of released a week ago.
You're ridiculous.
Early
dude.
access garbage.
You're fucking
and
ridiculous.
it's a video game called Pal World. Have you guys heard of this video game?
Yes.
Yes.
It's been flooding my TikTok
Yes.
feeds.
Before its release, it's just been touted as Pokemon with guns. You know, and you watch videos of this thing, and the fucking ripoff is very clear. It's fucking blatant. And Angel says, "Oh no, it's a fantastic game," because Angel loves shit games.
How dare you? How fucking dare you?
Now, there's a lot of conspiracy saying that this company's just straight up ripping off Pokemon, which I don't give a shit if you rip Pokemon off. I just want you to be honest about it, because Pokemon is a shit game. Could be better, but at least be honest about ripping it off, and I hope Nintendo sues the shit out of them. Now, I'm going to share some of these Pokemon PAL comparisons, and let's talk about how much of a ripoff they are.
Cool. Our viewers will be happy to see.
Yes, they will, Steven, because I'm going to send the pictures to Angel, and he can do what he wants with them. Okay? Here is Pikachu and Pikachu.
It's not Pikachu.
That is an accurate side by side.
What is it called in PokePals?
I don't fucking know what it's called in Pokepals, but on the right you got
Not Pikachu.
It's Cecilia Faye.
a Pikachu, except for the Pokepals, they put two boobs on the side of his head.
The fact that you don't know the name
The agent-
concerns me.
Why would I? It's Pikachu. I think in the game it's Pikachu.
Well, what?
It's not, dude.
One of them has lightning bolts coming out of its cheek. It's not of the bunny variety. It has boob heads.
Yeah, so instead of having a lightning bolt tail, it has lightning bolt cheeks. Congratulations.
So, are you gonna go attack every anime ever invented because they all have the same fucking eyes?
Yes, Steven, I am.
Hey, this anime looks like this anime. They're fucking ripping off this other anime. They're doing the sounds in this one and another one too.
All right, how about this monkey? Steven?
Ooh, with broccoli. Well, so one has broccoli on his head, the other one has a pot leaf on his head.
I didn't even notice that.
They actually don't look as much alike.
Quality design.
They don't look as much alike as I thought they were going to. They do have the charm of Pokemon or the essence of Pokemon in these creatures that have been created, but how else are you supposed to make fake fucking animals?
What about this one, Steven? That one's fucking on point.
Inspired
Brave,
yeah.
one.
inspired by
Someone.
Okay, first of all, if you look at the crown of the bird, okay, the one on the left is like a mohawk, and the one on the right is feathered out, flared out. If you look at the back of the one on the right, it's red. If you look on the one on the left, it's black and white. And if you look at the belly, they're completely different. How is he supposed to draw a giant bird?
Are you blind, Ryan?
How about this one?
This one.
The one on the right looks like Sonic.
The Zoroark.
Everything just looks slightly inspired by, like they were inspired by Pokemon and went and made their own creatures, which I don't think is any sort of illegal thing.
No. I
know what they're doing. I know that it's all clearly that they just wanted to make a Pokemon game, but that one is probably the closest one. But it still looks like they take two Pokemons.
Vulpix.
Nah, what they're doing is they're taking like a Charmander and like a Vulpix, and they're creating a new person. They're just like blending things together. It's clear what they did. They kind of, did just enough not to get sued, but created a game that was very Pokemon looking. And
now you think they did enough not to get sued.
They won't get sued.
But game developers or designers have pulled the files, and they have shown that the dimensions used line up exactly to the files that were used in the game. So they ripped the models out.
You're setting a really bad precedent. And where is this company that made this game?
Japan.
Well, if they're both in Japan, I mean, I don't know what Japanese law is all about, copyright law in Japan, if there even exists.
I also want to point out that the original 151 Pokemon, those are the most iconic, and I feel like if you copy those, it's blatantly obvious. However, how many more 150 sets of Pokemon did they have after that? They had at least 3 or 4 sets, and I feel like when Pokemon was doing those additional 3 and 4 sets, I think they were doing the knockoffs on other people because they were just, okay, I already made like a turtle that shoots water, so now I'm going to make a crocodile that shoots water, and then I'm going to create a fox that's water that's also like a ninja, and there's going to kind of keep going down there. So if you they've created so many of these little random characters that it's only a matter of time before some of the 4th, 5th, 6th generation ones get copycatted. If you skip copycatting the first 150, you should probably be fine.
How many Pokemon do you think exist today, Christopher?
I think it's like 1,000. It's almost 1,000. I think they've had 5 or 6 generations.
Ryan, how much do you care that they're ripping off Pokemon?
I don't really give two shits that they're ripping off Pokemon. What really upsets me is that Angel Dare says this is a good video game. That really upsets me.
Well, what the fuck? Dude, it's an okay.
I saw that you can make them all work in sweatshops. It sounds good to me.
Dude, Ryan, how come you didn't show the one of the sheep with like Gatling guns?
Well, I don't have that one.
Yeah. There was here I'll share it right here for all y'all. But there's just these sheep that are lined up ready to take some action. So when you start incorporating guns, it makes it a little different. But apparently, so my brother was texting me about this too. He's played the early access a little bit, and Ryan, mind you, the trailer for this came out 3 years ago.
Oh yeah.
So I'm glad Pokemon took now was the right opportunity to take offense to it.
Once they have money.
But early access has been out. And he says it's kind of like Pokemon and Rust put together, where you have Pokemon and then you create a base, and then when you're logged off, people can come raid your base. So you need to leave Pokemon and people protecting.
Sounds so much fun. I'm gonna get it. Is it free to play?
Well, it's on Game Pass, yeah. But it's one of those trash online multiplayer games where if you're playing on your server, all is good, but when we join you, our progress means nothing.
So you have to have like unless a dedicated server.
I think if you buy the Steam version, like you can actually like do co-op in a real way. But the Game Pass version, whether you're on Xbox or PC, is trash.
I'm not gonna lie, it doesn't look like a game I can just pick up and play. It looks like I have to seriously devote some time and some effort into this thing. So I'm like not interested in getting into it when I have very limited time to game.
But I do have to admit, when I started to really dig into the legitimacy of it being a ripoff, the evidence wasn't that mounting, and I was disappointed in myself.
I think the biggest thing that Nintendo, doesn't Nintendo owns Pokemon, or no? Pokemon's independent. Whatever.
Nintendo has like weird licensing with it.
Well, it's owned by Nintendo, right?
No, it's owned by Game Freak.
Game Freak.
There's a weird licensing with it. Yeah.
Yeah, because like Super Smash Brothers that Nintendo put out has Pokemon in it, so there's like a working relationship, but I don't think Nintendo truly owns the rights. They just have a good.
Hey,
working
Game
relationship.
Freak, go make a fucking good game ever.
There you go.
Dude, even Red and Blue are not good games.
Whoa,
They're not good games.
No, they
was
were good for
unnecessary.
the time. Like for it being on Game Boy, it was good. The problem is the series, no pun intended, hasn't really evolved very much since then.
I
it's
remember
exactly
going
the
back
same.
and playing and being like, oh, I was more caught up in just collecting the Pokemon and like sharing my progress at school versus the actual game, because the combat system in Pokemon is just utter trash. They have moves and things that you would never even use in combat.
You didn't use Tail Whip at all, ever?
You didn't use fucking bind. You didn't use like strength. No, you fucking just did dig, and you just found the meta, and you just, what did you do? You used fly and dig to kill everything.
Wait,
I feel like I would just always do something offensive.
Yeah.
I never did any.
There was
kind
no
of
point
buffing.
in to do buffing.
Yeah.
There's no point.
No, it's just a wasted turn.
It's just that's a shitty game.
Yeah.
But it was,
Far too basic.
but it was a staple, and I agree that it had its place, and everybody was obsessed with it, and it started a whole movement, right?
Like Blink 182.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just like it. Made you think the nostalgia,
Who
right,
is
Ryan?
considered
Right? Nostalgia?
who is considered the godfathers of pop punk? I do not know the answer to that, but I would like to know. Can't be Blink. I don't think Blink was the first band to bring that sound.
Sum 41. Oh, wait.
I thought of Sum 41 first too, but it's probably not them.
You know, Ryan, when I was talking to my brother, he was saying that the thing that has Pokemon really up in arms is you had Pal World, and the modders started modding in actual Pikachu and actual Charmander and those type of things. And so I think that's when it was like a cross the line moment where they said, okay, we need to handle that. You got something so close that people were very easily able to mod it and fix it.
Yeah, they shut that down real quick. Because the reality is, if Nintendo wanted to stop this or Game Freak wanted to stop it, they would have shut it down years ago. So it probably will be just
Or they
fine.
just waited till they had some dough.
Yeah, that too.
The founding fathers of going back in time here on the segments.
Iggy Pop. It's Iggy Pop.
Green Day was definitely listed as like the founding fathers of pop punk. Okay. There you go.
But Angel, I have
Yeah.
a question for you related to this.
Okay.
What if you encountered another podcast and they called themselves the Pop-Up Cowboys, and they had 4 entertainers?
Okay.
One focused on conspiracies, one focused on history, one focused on personal experiences, and one said words. Would you be upset?
We would direct Angel to sue them into oblivion.
Absolutely, 100%.
There's only room in this town for 4 cowboys.
Way too similar.
But what-
Way too similar.
Way too
This
similar.
town ain't big enough for the 8 of us.
And they call it Pal World, and they call them pals. And you kill them, and you eat them. You can eat them, and I don't know if you knew, but you could actually capture people,
And put them in the spheres.
like actually capture them in the balls, and then cook them. And they show you the animation of you butchering them. It's kind of fun.
Got so real.
Yeah, it's really fucking. And you don't even start with guns, dude. I started with the club, and right now I have a crossbow.
Are you sure you're not even at the Gatling gun
No,
yet with
dude,
your
it's-
sheep
it's
army?
kind of like a
Have you tried collecting sheep?
sheep.
Are you a shepherd?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get like bonus XP if you collect 10 of each pal.
Pals, 10 pals.
I call them Pokemon. But yeah, I
We're
mean,
about to get copyright shut down.
Yeah, it's not the greatest game, but it's entertaining enough for like, okay, I want to see how it goes, because it's not just like it's not 2-dimensional. It's actually pretty deep. Like the first, I can't even kill the first freaking boss. It's a giant, huge. It's fucking huge. It's a huge like mastodon. That's like a grass type. I tried to fight it, and I died immediately.
Are you playing the Game Pass version, or did you buy it?
Game Pass.
Yeah, that's something I read today. Is the first boss is impossible in the Game Pass version, but significantly easier if you bought it on Steam.
Oh, for fuck's sake! That sucks. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I gotta say about that.
Yeah, beautiful. Very good. Thank you, Ryan. Was that a bone? Like,
Bone.
were you picking a bone? I forgot. Oh no, you were
Me?
challenged. This is like,
No, I was inspired by you this morning.
oh yes, very inspirational.
You defeated me without even trying.
Ooh, that's how good I am, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much, Ryan. Now,
At least the Lions won.
oh, that's good. I'm very happy for the Lions. All right. All right, that wraps up this episode of your Coin Op Cowboys. Don't forget to subscribe, follow, leave a comment, give us 5 stars. Say something nice about Steven's nipples, okay? Say something nice. We're going to wrap this up with a final word for each cowboy in the perfect order. And this order is different from the order from the start of the show. And if it's the same, don't worry. Angel calculated every which way the order should be. So we'll start with Chris.
Well, CoinOpians, I hope you enjoyed this very blinkerific 182 memorization of a great, great band. Good times, fantastic. Glad you guys were here with us. Join us for next time when we talk about more Blink-182, because we can do it as much as we can, because I know it irritates Ryan so much that I was going to go with it and wear my Blink-182 shirt and everything. So, thank you for joining the Coin Op Cowboys, where we pick each other's buttons and pick some bones and get it all riled up. So email us up, and have a good night.
All right. Thank you, Chris. Next up, Steven.
Well, it's been another great evening with you guys. Day, whatever it is. All I know is I'm interested in meeting the pop-up cowboy version of Ryan. It's probably cooler. Probably has better facial hair and bigger cock. So, have a good one, you guys. We'll check you on the flippity flap.
Don't forget that pop-up probably has a sense of humor, too.
Yeah. He probably loves Tom.
Yeah, baby.
What do you got, Ryan?
Well, CoinOpians, Angel left me for last per usual. Not by mistake, but on purpose. And with this, I say goodbye because I'm probably getting fired for my terrible topic. He does beat us, just so you know. And if we don't perform, it's not good for us. So if you don't hear me next week, just know that I loved you.
Oh, God.
One love.
Ew.
Good night.
Hey, Steven, can we get a goodbye from Elmo too?
Goodbye, motherfuckers.
That's so good. Okay. All right. And with that, we're out.
Oh my god, suck my cock.